Hi, everyone. Good morning, good
Morning.
afternoon, and good evening.
Good
All right.
morning.
So welcome to everyone. We're very excited to have you join us for today's webinar. Whether you're tuning in from across the city or from a different country in the world, it's wonderful to have you here. In today's webinar, we'll introduce you to MCNY, sharing their history, mission, and what makes them a standout choice for higher education. You'll also learn more about their rankings, accreditation, explore the New York campus, and discover why studying in New York offers unique opportunities and experiences. It's great to see everyone here. So before we start, my name is Kyla, and I'm the content specialist for InUni Global. And I am very excited to introduce our distinguished speakers for today. First up, we have on the right side of our screen, we have Dr. Hamilton Raymond, the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs at MCNY. Dr. Raymond brings a wealth of experience in guiding students through their academic journey and ensuring that they have the support that they need to succeed. It's a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Raymond. How are you today?
I'm very well. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. And also, we have Andrew Rearley, the Associate Director of Admissions at MCNY. Andrew works closely with prospective international students, helping them navigate the admissions process and discover how MCNY can be the right fit for their goals. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you for giving us your time. How are you today, Andrew?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
It's great to hear that. So, before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that this session is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be shared to you right after this session. We will also have a live Q&A session at the end of this session, so you can simply submit your questions using the Q&A box just down below your screen. We'll be glad to address as many as possible. All right, now to start, now that we've set the stage, let's dive in deeper into what MCNY has to offer. So, Dr. Hamilton will walk us through what makes MCNY a standard choice for students like you.
Life moves fast. Sometimes it pulls us away from our goals, our dreams, but it's never too late to pick up where you left off. At Metropolitan College of New York, we believe every journey deserves a new beginning. Our foundation is built on constructive action, where learning meets real-world impact. We believe in education that empowers you to create change for yourself and your community. In our leading degree programs in human services, education, business, and public administration, with small class sizes, you'll never feel just like a number. You'll rediscover a community that nurtures your growth and prepares you for meaningful change. We are driven by the values of social justice, ensuring that every student's voice matters and every dream is achievable. MCNY is a home for over 12,000 active alumni, many of whom have returned to lead their communities, businesses, and organizations. We are a family that stays connected, committed to lifting each other up. And more than ever, we want you to be a part of that community. It's time to come back to what matters, to your dreams, your purpose, your future. Renew, re-engage, recommit. Come home to MCNY. I'm Dr. Charles Gibbs, the 7th president of Metropolitan College of New York. The faculty, staff, and I are all here to welcome you back to finish your college education and overcome anything holding you back. Let's make it happen together. Let's get started today by visiting mcny.edu/renew and begin your journey today, because together we rise.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so very much for having me, and I hope you all enjoyed that video and that powerful message by our president, President Charles Gibbs, who does send his greetings and his welcome to all of you. I'm going to go over the brief history of MCNY and really just give you an idea of where we came from and where we are currently, where we're going. Initially, we start off as the Audrey Cohen school where, the Women's Talent Corp in 1964. Audrey Cohen was our founder, and the focus was on human services professions in this early years. The college added business program in 1983. It was renamed to Audrey Cohen College, hence the founder's name by the Board of Trustees in 1992, in honor of the founder's president. And then the school later on became what is now the Metropolitan College of New York. Today, college has graduate, undergraduate, and certificate programs across three schools: the Audrey Cohen School for Human Services and Education, School for Business, and the School for Public Affairs and Administration. Next slide. Why MCNY? Well, aside from what you heard President Gibbs mention with the small classroom concept, we are an institution where we are family here. I know a lot of institutions may send that message, but we really practice that methodology where you understand or everyone from their first and last name. You're able to connect with them at any moment, and up into our president has an open door policy. Who is very active and engaging president, so you have the ability to connect with professors and administrators alike. Aside from that, the school business is accredited by ACBSP, meaning that we're an accredited institution for that program. We're accredited overall, but specific programs have their own unique accreditations, like our School of Business. It's applied experiential learning, where you learn through internships and field work while developing problem-solving life skills, which is unique to MCNY. We have over 40 plus countries that make up the institution. And you study in New York City, what better place to study than New York City? Next slide. Our rankings and accreditation that you'll see here. We were awarded number 5 for Best Value College in New York in 2026, Business Administration. Number 6 for Most Popular for Continuity, Organization, and Advocacy. 7 for Most Affordable College in New York City, which is very important. Again, we were ranked 7 for Best Value in New York City in 2026, 11 for Community Service Schools, 12 for Top 30 Marketing Schools in New York, 158 for Best Colleges for Public Policy in America. 158 in America is a very good ranking, and 54 Top Performance Social Mobility, and 150 to 164 in Best Regional Universities in North ranking. So we're pretty unique, and we're doing some really great things in the community. Next slide. So our New York campus, we're located in New York City with easy access to Manhattan, major business districts and cultural centers via public transportation, including proximity to New York City's financial district. With close to healthcare systems, public agencies, nonprofit organizations, and community-based institutions, creating strong opportunities for applied learning. We have a learning environment closely connected to real-world community-based and workplace engagement, ideal for students seeking career exposure in New York City while studying a small, focused, and supportive campus setting. Sorry. Why New York? From the obvious fact that it's New York City, but we are a top destination for international students. New York has approximately 135,800 international students during the academic year of 23 and 24, making the second largest city to host state after California. We're a global finance capital. We're number 1 globally in Global Financial Centers Index. We have an ecosystem valued over $621 billion, making us the second largest tech hub globally. We have diversity in our industry and opportunity in education, finance, healthcare, media, publishing, fashion, advertising, entertainment, and the sex, and New York City's dynamic ecosystem. Driving innovation at scale. This is just one of the minimal things that we can incorporate as compared to much more stuff that New York City has. Next slide. Right. So New York again, we're a truly global city. home to the world's diplomacy and decision makers. New York City is home to the headquarters of the UN, United Nations, and the United Nations headquarters. It's this for students, it simply means that exposure to a city shaped by global policy, sustainability, business, and international relations. And for parents, it signals a highly respected and globally connected environment. We have outstanding career and internship opportunities. You'll be able to benefit with direct access to global employees across finance, technology, consulting, media, healthcare, and international business, and much more. One of the most multicultural student environments in the world. More than 800 languages are spoken locally. Our students are from South Asia, Africa, Europe, East Asia, and can find strong cultural communities, food options, faith centers, and student societies. Next slide. And of course, safety is one of the bigger things that we have to be concerned about. So, with safe and structured universities living within a major city, most institutions operate, manage residence halls, dedicated campus security teams, and student support services, which we have here at MCNY, with the exception of the residence halls. A unique cultural and personal development experience. Students really can explore landmarks such as Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Times Square, alongside museums, theaters, concerts, international festivals, strong graduate employability and international career value, which is very important. You obtain your degree, but you also need to seek employment opportunities, which we have pretty big, great opportunities here in New York City for that. Employers worldwide value study experience gained in a fast-paced, professional, and globally competitive environment, especially where students complete internships and industry projects. A perfect base for wider exposure to the United States. From New York, students can easily travel to major cities, such as Boston, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, by train or coach bus, supporting academic visas, conferences, and broader cultural experiences. Entertainment, New York City is the capital for entertainment. So it's fairly easy to navigate around the city. New York City transportation is affordable and connects students to entertainment across the city. In New York City, students can move around easily without a car. It's preferred to not have a car in New York City, through subways and buses that are near the campus and things of that nature. Near Metropolitan College of New York, there's multiple bus lines. The flat fare is $3 per ride. It's easy international access for students and families. We have JFK International Airport, Newark Liberty International Airport, New York Stewart International Airport, LaGuardia Airport, as well as a local airport. Transport and lifestyle. Students use routes like the highway, I'm sorry, like Highline, Uber, taxis, and city ferries to commute while enjoying parks, views, and social areas. Next slide. Some of our main attractions: Comic-Con, New York Fashion Week, Tribeca Film Festival, Rockefeller, Times Square, with a double-decker bus, which is amazing, and the Statue of Liberty. I personally have enjoyed every one of these attractions, and I think all of you will as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raymond. Speaking of attractions, before we move on to the next part of the webinar, Doctor, I'd love to know tap into your local expertise. So, for international students who may also be new to the area, what are the spots? Do you have any recommended spots of local eats or something, your personal favorite that they should put on their list right away when visiting New York City?
So my personal favorite is this restaurant called the Victoria. It's in Harlem, which is about maybe 18 minutes from here. And it sits right above the Apollo Theater. So if you're familiar with the Apollo Theater, it's where a lot of stars were made early on in the 80s and 90s in the Apollo Theater. So it's a famous staple in our community, and the food, the Victoria, which sits above it, is phenomenal. I definitely recommend that. Again,
Thank you.
that's a short distance to campus.
That's very convenient actually. How about you, Andrew? Before we go to you, any personal favorites? I'm very sure a lot of our aspiring students would love to know so that they can add it to their bucket list.
I mean, there's just so many places to go to. I love every single Thai restaurant here in New York City, whether you're going to a Thai restaurant in Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, or Queens, they're all amazing. They bring the authenticity of the cooking culinary skills with them. But we also have other places to see besides, what's on the screen right now. You have in Manhattan, you have Little Italy, right? There's Chinatown. There's an area called Little Brazil. In Queens, there's another area of Chinatown. We're lucky we have two Chinatowns. There's also a Little India, which also serves great food there. And then another, I can tell you as far as a place to go, not a restaurant, but like something to do. I know a lot of people love to go see the Statue of Liberty, right, or the Empire State Building. Those are all, fun and great, but they get too very, very crowded. Central Park is an easy, free, place to go to. You don't have to spend any money there. It's just free and convenient. But the little known secret about New York City, there's a place called Governor's Island, and it's a free trip to get there, and they have food and games and rest areas, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very scenic. So you're going to get to take a lot of photographs, while you're sightseeing the city. So definitely, Governor's Island is one place that I would recommend going to.
Love it. Thank you so much for all the recommendations. It's also very exciting to know that New York City has, Little India and Chinatown, basically somewhere authentic that they can go to whenever they're missing home. So a lot of our aspiring students are also coming from India. So it's really nice to know that you have that there. So thank you so much for that. Moving on to get a deeper dive on the programs and whatnot. Let's go to Andrew.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So we'll just briefly talk about the undergraduate programs that's offered here at Metropolitan College. We have three schools. Each of them work together with the college. So the first school is Audrey Cohen College for Human Services, and we offer a Bachelor of Professional Studies in Human Services. So for any of those that want to be able to work in a not-for-profit agency, social services or human rights organizations, you would end up selecting this degree. And then we have the School for Business, so where we're offering the Bachelor's of Business Administration in Business Administration, Healthcare Systems Management, and IT Management. So of course, here, anybody who wants to go into a business degree or finance, they would end up working in banking or investment firms, healthcare. You would do hospitals and IT management. You can go into software development or AI. School for Public Affairs Administration. We have two degrees there. It's for the Emergency Management and Business Continuity, Bachelor of Arts, and also our non-for-profit management and Bachelor of Science. And for there, people would end up working also in either social services, human rights organizations, but they'll be also having the opportunity to work with their local government, developing infrastructure, marketing, construction as well. Next slide. And for the grad program, again, we have the three schools, but now the degree focus is shifted over to graduate programs where we have a master's in education for grades 1 through 6, including special education. It's one of the only schools in New York City that offers a dual degree program where you'll get two certifications for teaching. There's also a mathematics degree for grades 7 through 12. Of course, we'll place you inside of a school, and you almost have guaranteed, work upon completion. But all of the work that we are offering, is field work. It's going to be related to your degree program. So you're going to be able to get that experiential learning, that hands-on experience that comes with all students that, wonder, well, when I get my degree, what am I going to do next, right? Here you're going to be able to have your fieldwork component. School for Business, there's one MBA with 5 different possible concentrations. Call that your minor or your case study that you're working with. So you have your MBA in Business Administration with the core focus on finance or general management, healthcare, marketing, communications, or non-for-profit management. There's also a separate degree that's a Master's of Science in Project Management. This one is very popular with international students because it's only a 1 year or year and a half program, depending on how you want to take the courses. But it really opens up the door to many international students that are looking to transfer in or get their F1 visa for the first time. Then we have the School for Public Affairs and Administration. It's an MPA. It's a master's in public administration with 3 concentrations as well: healthcare, non-for-profit, public administration. The differences between the two of the MBA and the MPA is very, very minor. It's between working in a for-profit company, versus a non-for-profit company. You may work for a government agency or a non-government agency. The skill set is going to be almost the same. MPA in Emergency and Disaster Management is just an advanced version of the emergency management program in undergrad. And here you're going to be able to do a lot more with government and infrastructure and construction, and decision making as well. So for the undergraduate programs, tuitions and fees, they're all listed here. We have the 6 different undergrad programs. The duration says 32 months, which is 2 years and 8 months to complete the degree. Again, you could complete this degree as long as 4 years if you like to. Many of our students choose to go the accelerated route and complete it sooner, but you can take the traditional route and go a little bit longer. Tuition for 1 year is $20,188. Again, the program is only 2 years and 8 months, so your total would just be slightly above that. The cost of attending is 2 out of 3 semesters, so you can take either fall, spring, or summer. Summer is usually an optional break that students will take. And then there are also scholarships that are available to students as well. Next slide. Graduate programs, we have, again, it's the same number of graduate programs as we had with undergrad programs. It's just expanded because in each of the MBAs, there's those 5 concentrations, and the MPA has the 3 concentrations. So it looks like more, but it's the same. And the duration is 12 months. Again, you could extend this over to 16 months or 20 months if you like. Tuition for that program is going to be $18,358. It's a total of 36 credits to complete the program. I forgot that part on the last slide. It was 120 credits to complete that program. Same thing here. You're able to complete your annual enrollment on either 2 out of the 3 semesters. If you choose to do 3, that's up to you. Most of our students will just take the 2 option for the summer break. And then also graduate scholarships are available for international students as well. So to get the I-20, you need to be able to have at least $40,000 minimum availability, liquid, in order to be able to obtain the initial I-20 so that you can get approved for the F1 visa. So this slide just shows what the cost of the tuition is for each of the top degree programs, the estimated cost of living in New York, some personal expenses that you're going to need for travel and some food. Cost of living is going to be housing expenses. We don't offer any student housing here at the college, but this cost of living is what you would need to be able to cover for yourself if you were to get a room somewhere, or you will be down to nothing if you end up having family here in New York and you would stay with them. Next slide. So the entry requirements are very, very simple. For an undergraduate program, you need to have a completed bachelor's degree. Completed high school program showing at least a minimum of a 2.0 GPA to gain access entry to the school. Your English proficiency has to be above 75 for the TOEFL, 5.5 for IELTS. Duolingo is 100. For the graduate program, you need to have a 2.75 from your completed bachelor program. English proficiency is going to be slightly higher at 75 for the TOEFL, 6.0 for the IELTS, and 105 for Duolingo. Only admission requirement that you're going to need is to have a bachelor's transcript and a resume. We will not need to have any writing sample or letters of recommendation. We want to be able to eliminate any barriers to entry and give you guys the opportunity to make a difference, right, in your community. Once you get this degree, you'll be able to send money home to your family and make that big impression on everyone. Next slide. So the class starting dates for international students, we have 3 semesters, summer, fall, and spring. For the summer semester, first day of classes will begin on Monday, May 12th. Classes for the fall will begin on Tuesday, Monday, September 8th. And in the spring of 2027, we're going to begin on January 12th. Each of our semesters are around 14 weeks in duration, and there's about a 2.5-week break before the next semester begins. So a lot of students ask me about CPT. Do we offer day one CPT? For undergrad students, you have to complete 2 semesters first in order to be able to qualify for CPT. For grad students, you'd be able to start that right away because you already have experience enough in your undergrad education to be able to qualify for that. Eligibility, you have to be enrolled as a full-time student. You have to register for at least 1 to 3 credit hours of internship coursework by the coordinator. You have to maintain your F1 status, and you have to receive a formal internship offer. So we will help you with our career services team to connect with agencies, or companies that are looking to hire people. If you have somebody, an agency that you want to be able to work with, let us know. We'll be able to work with them and let them know how the process is going to work, so we can have you be a full-time student as well as a part-time employee gaining work experience. The CPT duration can go as little as 1 semester, where you're committed to those 14 weeks, or you can go as long as an entire year. CPT just basically means 20 hours of employment while you are still enrolled in school. Next slide. So OPT is the exact same thing, except you're not going to be enrolled in school. You will be on a holiday break, or you will have completed your degree program, and then you can work up to 40 hours a week doing your OPT. Everybody will be able to qualify for 1-year OPT. STEM programs will be able to qualify for a 2-year OPT. And then you can end OPT early if you wanted to. There's no restriction on doing that. And some students will choose to end OPT early only because now they want to be able to start a new master's program. We will help you with getting your work authorization social in either of scenario, whether CPT or OPT. And we'll also assist you with getting your employment authorization card. If you need help with setting up a bank account, we'll be able to help you do that as well. The only thing I forgot to mention is that the OPT you choose has to be related to your degree, right? So you're not going to be able to get OPT, working in a restaurant as a bartender or a waiter or a taxi driver, right? We want to be able to give you substantial work experience, because this is what you're getting your degree for, right? You want to be able to get a master's in project management. Ultimately, you wish to work in construction or get your MBA and you want to work in banking. You want to be able to get that relevant experience. So everything here I just already summarized on earlier slides, the differences between the two CPT and OPT offers. Next. So for housing, as I mentioned earlier, we do not offer any student housing. We are a small commuter school. We probably have a total of 1,200 students. Unlike some of the major schools that would have like 50,000 students, well, you'll get, lost in the sauce where they just know you by a number. Here, everyone's going to be known, by name. Class sizes are small as well. They're only between 20 to 25 students, not 300. So as a small school, we're very, we're a nurturing environment, but we want to be able to, keep that feeling, right, with all of our students. So we stay small. And so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to offer any student housing. If we did, your tuition would be a lot higher. So we want to keep it affordable. We know that 90% of our students that are international, that come here, already have family, friends that they want to stay with. But if you don't have that luxury, you still have a list of these options that I've posted here on the screen that you're able to contact them, be able to obtain a short-term rental, stay there for maybe 1 or 2 months. And while you are in school, you'll be able to network with other international students. And then you may be able to, build a relationship with somebody to say, hey, I'm also from, this country. Let's get together and let's share a room. And then your costs will be brought down substantially. Okay, next. So we do have career services and a mentor program here at the college, as I was alluding to earlier. So our Office of Career Services works with all students, U.S. and international, that will help them discover a career path that's going to be able to make a difference. So you're going to be able to get assistance in how to act during a interview, how to plan your resume writing, what are some of your strategies and outcomes, for what the next step is, where you're going to be after 1 year or 2 years, right? How to be able to network, with other industries and colleagues, using LinkedIn, finding opportunities. There are so many social groups that you're able to join, and then connect with everybody to find employment, or if you already are employed, to find better employment. We do also have a first year mentor program. This is going to be able to help students get acclimated to the schools, right? You may want to know, how am I going to be able to develop my leadership skills? Maybe I need help with studying. Maybe I need help with understanding time management and stress and prioritizing, my responsibilities. I'm lost. I'm unsure what to do. You're always able to work with a first year mentor, get some guidance, and say, this is what, is best practices to be able to help you manage your time and not feel like overwhelmed. Next slide. Same thing with the counseling services, right? As with first year mentor, we're going to be able to help you handle any type of other issues that may come up. We do have a licensed social worker who's on campus, who is able to assist you, personally, confidentially as well. If you're suffering any type of, anxiety, stress from leaving the country, maybe you are feeling homesick, right? Whatever those reasons are, you'll be able to talk with them. If you're having trouble sleeping or adjusting, we are here, as Dr. Raymond said earlier, we are family. We're going to be able to work with you. I didn't mention this earlier, but I was an international student myself. I came over from Thailand, and here I am now, so many years later, working for the college, and I've been at the college for 10 years. And so I know firsthand all of the support that the colleges will offer to the students. Next slide. So some of the student testimonials, we have two graduates. Vivian Gomez graduated, I believe it was in 2019. She had a family, she had children, and she was concerned with, how am I going to be able to complete my degree working full time and raising my family? But she did. She was able to complete her degree in 3 years. And she was very, very happy that she came to MCNY and found us among all of the other colleges that were in New York City, because had she not found us, she may never have completed her degree. Thomas Lee had graduated around 2022, I believe. He now works as a school teacher in one of the Bronx public schools, and he's changing lives over there. A lot of students have come to him, and they call him Mr. Lee. And some of them think he's Asian, but he's not. And he's a really fun guy. He's really great to be with. I miss him as a student, but he was really happy to graduate from this school, and he was able to fulfill his lifelong dream of being a school teacher. He was able to give back to his community. So I guess this part is going to be up for Kyla, right? To talk about all the agencies have to do is just now click on the link on the GUS Gateway to be able to enroll your students.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much, Andrew. For our new agents here, and for our returning, for existing agents, MCNY is already on GUS Gateway. So just be sure to follow all the steps there and the links, so that we can be, partners with MCNY. And we look forward to having you there to support MCNY. So thank you so much, Andrew and Dr. Raymond, for sharing those wonderful insights. I'm very sure our audience has learned a lot about MCNY has to offer. And I'm very sure that the students are feeling more excited and motivated about the possibility of studying there. So since we also have a few minutes, we have some time, let's move on to one of the most anticipated parts of the webinar, which is the Q&A session. And again, for our audience for today, this is the best time to ask any questions you may have so our speakers can answer it live. Take this opportunity because this doesn't happen often. So we're very honored to have them here today. And we do have a couple of questions from our audience and from our social media, so I'll be reading them out loud. Let's dive in. Andrew, I think this is one's for you. So for the cost of living, you mentioned earlier, is that for the entire year already?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that because for our students who are, wondering if how much they should, prepare, at least they have an idea already. So thank you so much for that. Also, for questions from our socials, we do have some. I'm just going to read it out loud. And any of you, Dr. Raymond and Andrew, can answer this one. So, beyond the classroom, one of the biggest advantages for students is to access professional networks and industry exposure. So, my question is, how do students benefit from MCNY industry connections and networks during their studies?
So it looks like Dr. Raymond's ready to jump in there. He was
No,
moving the microphone like so.
you could grab it. You could.
I was just going to say that, we all of our teachers, our faculty, many of them have doctorates, have been exposed to so many things in their lives, and many times, this is one of the reasons why we ask for their resume, right? Is for the students' resumes because the dean will look over the students' resumes and they will see a connection. They'll say, "Oh, this person had experience working in." This banking information, this banking company, or in another agency, and see some kind of related field work that they probably can do. So the dean or the professor might reach out to the student to say, "Hey, I have an employment opportunity, to share with you. Maybe you'd be interested in doing that." We also have maybe every month or two, we would have different networking events on campus. We've had a couple that were off campus. The last one that we did was a meetup that we did for the New York Stock Exchange. We invited the entire school, but we invited mostly the students that were undergrad who were going into the Bachelor's of Business program because we wanted them, and sorry, at Bachelor of Business and Finance for the MBA. We wanted them to come to the New York Stock Exchange to see what that would be like, firsthand, to see the energy and the excitement. And then they met up with other schools that were there too, right? And then so our organizer connected with their organizer, and we were able to exchange, contact information, so people were able to connect with all of their students. And then the last thing that we do on campus is every semester we have a international welcome, right? So every semester we have a new student orientation where all students, U.S. and international, come together and they learn about little bits about the college, the history that we just did. They also pick up their student ID. They'll learn about who else is in their class, what some of the requirements are for the field work or for the uh, program that they're in. They'll be able to meet the dean. But separately, we invite back the international students on just a separate international orientation. And so those students are going to be in a room with me, right? And there may be 15 or 20 international students only compared to the 150, the other students. And we will just network with each other and say, "Oh, I'm also from the Philippines," or "I'm also from India," right? And I'm staying at the International House hostel, or I'm staying here, and they'll be able to network with each other. So nobody is going to be just thrown into a room and expect you to navigate, your own way. There's plenty of opportunities for communication and networking and linking up. There's a lot.
Thank you, Andrea. How about you, Dr. Raymond? Anything to add to that?
I think Andrew really hit the nail on the head with that. The one other aspect that I would like to mention is that our unique model allows us to do real life work. So instead of just being in the classroom as traditional institutions do, you have an opportunity to be out there in the community to do the whatever is you're interested in and do it in real time. So that also provides with opportunities to connect with industries and potentially obtain employment opportunities upon graduation.
Thank you so much for that. Speaking of connecting, this next question is actually a bit connected to that. What kinds of support does MCNY offer to help students find jobs after graduation?
Yeah,
All right.
so
So
when I talked about, oh, sorry, I was gonna say on that
no, no, go
slide
ahead.
that I talked about with career services, right? We support you throughout your journey, right? So if you're coming in as a first-time freshman, or as a transfer student, a graduate student, you don't have to wait until graduation to meet with career services. You're able to meet with them within your first or second semester. This is why we have the ability for students to do CPT and OPT, because you might need that career help, right? So you'll be able to work with career services right away, right? But it doesn't end after graduation. If you graduated from school and you've completed your, 1 or 2 year OPT, right? And now you move on to another career, you're still an alumni of the school. You can still contact career services, right, at any time. You can still contact our LinkedIn page, right, or our Facebook page and say, I need some assistance. Our alumni organization has over 12,000, graduates who's easily able to assist you as well.
That's perfect. Anything to add, Dr. Raymond? All good?
No, I mean, our career services, again, it's one that's with you through your entire time here at MCNY. And we also assist you upon graduating. We have till this day, we have alums that are returning to us looking for resume assist, looking for employment opportunities, job fairs. So we stay connected with you even after graduation.
It's wonderful to know. At least they know that anytime they could still reach out back to you. Also, are there any opportunities for international students to work while studying? Can they do part-time or can they do or take any jobs outside the school while studying?
Yes, that's right. So that's the CPT. You're able to get that work experience. The only difference is we will not be able to give you on-campus work experience, right? You're not going to be able to have a graduate assistantship, with one of our faculty members on campus, but we will help you with getting your CPT off campus, right? So as we mentioned that earlier.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So we also know that, coming to a new country can be very overwhelming to a lot of our international students. And being supported and having that supportive and inclusive classroom is really important. So could you share how diverse the classroom environment is at MCNY?
For 15 to 25 students in the class, that's extremely diverse for us. We don't support just one country, right? As Dr. Raymond said, there's over 40 countries represented at the school and just as many languages as well. So I've had international students that came from Uzbekistan and South Africa. I've had Ireland and Vietnam, Philippines and Malaysia. I mean, I've had international students from all over, India and Bangladesh. Every class is going to have at least 3 international students, in that classroom. You will never have a class without an international population at all. There's always going to be somebody international in that classroom. Somebody's going to be on a visa in the classroom. And there was even a time where we had, in I think it was in project management, we had 20 students in the classroom, and all but 4 were international. So 16 amazing international students in that classroom.
Wow, that's a lot actually. It's really nice to have a diverse um, students. So at least you know that they have a community to go to and to be, connected to. That's really
Speaking of
wonderful to
that,
know.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but speaking of community, one of the things I wanted to share is that if students feel like they want to be able to network and they want to be able to build their own groups, they can develop their own social club, right? So you can create a club. If you want to create a chess club, you want to create a an anime club, or an international club, whatever you like, you're able to do that. So you can definitely make your own groups so that you could feel more involved with the school.
That was actually my next question, but thank you so much for being so advanced and
Fantastic.
answering that. Yeah. Um, Also, this is actually directed to you, Andrew. So you also mentioned earlier that, you came from Thailand and then you
Mhm.
just, transfer abroad. So what was the most challenging part for you when you transferred overseas?
There was no challenge for me, unfortunately. I was probably one of the rare rare instances without any challenge.
That's
I think
really, yeah.
everybody here made me feel welcome, right? So
Hmm.
pay it
That's
forward.
really good to know. Yeah, that's really good to know. And of course, a lot of our international students, that's one of the things that they really think about. It's because am I going to belong? Am I going to be welcome? And what about the accommodation and all? So at least in MCNY, we know that they are being supported. Everyone's being supported regardless of what nationality you are in. So what nationality you have. So that's good to know. And we
Yeah,
also have. Mhm.
sorry, I was
No
gonna say
problem.
our PDSO works with every international student personally, right? So we'll verify your documentation that's being submitted. It will create the initial I-20, right? You'll get the information sent to you over by email for, paying the CVIS appointment fee. He'll follow up with you on, the status of your approval. He'll work with you on your travel arrangements coming to New York, securing your housing if you have that all as well, preparing your first semester schedule. There's so much that we do, right? And then we always ask if there's anything else that you may need. And if somebody says, I'm coming from, X country, and I'd like to know if somebody else is coming from that country as well, right? We have the master list of all of the applicants that are coming in that also got approved their visa, and say, hey, you know what? We do have another person coming in from this country, right? He doesn't live that far away from you, right? So you may be able to meet up on opening day. So we'll try to arrange that when we have our international orientation to be able to pre-introduce people.
That's a really comforting thing to know, actually. So it's a good thing that you mentioned that because, yeah, it's really scary when you travel abroad in a different place and you don't know anyone. So that's the scariest part, actually. So thank you so much for that. Up to our last question from our socials. So I know that this has been mentioned earlier during our discussion, but for those who are not able to catch this one, are there any scholarships available for international students applying?
Yes, so
Right.
we
Yeah.
do
So
have.
we.
Oh, go ahead, go.
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
let you talk. I've been talking too much.
We. No, you're good. Been doing a great job, Andrew. Yeah, we do have scholarships available for our students up to $5,000 upon admissions.
That's
So,
really
in
good to
addition
know.
to
Yeah.
the institutional scholarships, we also have a list of external scholarships that are available, right? So, on our website, there's a list titled, there's a link titled Scholarships and Grants. And if you're able to click on that, you'll see a drop down with maybe 30 or 40 different external scholarships that students are easily able to apply for, right? You can always get the one international student scholarship uh, within MCNY, where you're always able to compound that with additional external scholarships as well.
Thank you very much, Andrew and Dr. Raymond, for answering those questions. I think we've answered everything. But before we wrap up, I'd like to ask if you have any closing words or perhaps some advice or tips for all aspiring students joining us today.
My only tip that I would recommend is, even though we don't require a writing sample, right, I would say um, write one, right? Write one for yourself as to why you are applying to MCNY. Because I don't want anybody getting stuck at the embassy when they ask you a question, why are you applying to MCNY, and you don't have an answer, right? You don't say, oh, I'm just trying to get a job, or, I want to, I want to work in this company. You should have an answer as to why you want to choose MCNY: because of our ranking, because of our program, because of our experiential learning, right? Because of the fieldwork components, whatever it is that you find attractive of MCNY, just write about that, memorize it, keep it to yourself. That way, when they ask you the question, it's going to be a much more fluid response than you just looking up into the sky and trying to figure out what your reasons are.
Right. Just really leave you with this. MTNY is certainly a place that can change lives. And if you're looking to move in that direction, we're certainly one to consider.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all the information that you've given us today. And that concludes our session. Our heartfelt thank you to our audience for your participation and your interaction throughout this session. We'll also be sharing the recording of this session so you can revisit anytime. And if you have, any information that has been missed, feel free to watch this webinar in our YouTube channel. If you also have further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be very happy to assist you. So we do hope you found this session helpful, informative, and encouraging to, so you could consider MCNY as a valuable option for your academic journey. And once again, a big thank you to you, Dr. Raymond and Andrew, for sharing both of your insights and helping us understand what it's like to study at MCNY. And to everyone who joined us today, thank you again for your active participation. We look forward to seeing you in our next session. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.
Take care,
Thank you.
guys.
Good one.